So now it's time to start working back and forth across your bag. Make one chain stitch, and now you're going to work in single crochet across 19 stitches on this side of the bag. So beginning in this stitch here, start working your 19 stitches. So now you're going to work back across these 19 stitches. So previously you were working single crochet in the round, going round and round in spirals, but this section you're going to work back and forth. So turn your work and make a chain stitch, and then beginning with the second stitch from the hook, work single crochet back across these 19 stitches. Now that you've reached the end, it's time to repeat that step again. So make one chain stitch and turn your work, and you're now going to work another row of single crochet across these stitches, and you'll do this twice more. And so by the end of this row, you'll have completed 4 rows in flat single crochet, so no longer in the round. So now that you've finished your 4th row of working flat across one half of your Cosy Up Clutch, it's time to cut your yarn. So leave a good yarn tail so that you can sew it in easily. And then just pull on your hook till the end pops through, and then it's secured. So you're going to do exactly the same thing on the same side, working back and forth, working 4 rows flat in single crochet, and when you finish doing that, cut your yarn, but leave yourself a nice long yarn tail, so then you can sew in your bag clasp using this yarn tail. So this is what your piece will look like. So you can see you've got the section worked in tubular single crochet, and then the 2 flaps at the top, which are worked flat. It's now time to put in your bag clasp. So if you turn your clutch inside out, so like this. And so for this design, the reverse side of single crochet is actually what we're going to have as the right side, just because it's quite a nice different texture from what you'd usually have. When I finished the flat section of the Cosy Up Clutch, when I cut my yarn end, I left quite a long tail. So this I will use to sew in my bag clasp. So here's your clasp, and what you need to do is open it out. So it looks like that, and then insert it into your bag, and fold the top row over, like that. So I'm going to turn this round, and you want to thread your yarn tail with your sewing needle. And then you can start to stitch it in place. So fold the edge of your bag over so that it completely covers the clasp. And what you're going to do now is sew this bottom edge here to the inside of your bag. So begin by making a stitch on the inside of your bag. This will feel quite awkward at first, but the more stitches you make, the easier it'll get. And then bring that through the chain on left after your last row of crochet. And then move along to the next stitch, make a stitch. So you're gradually attaching it and sort of making a tube which is folded over the bag clasp and completely conceals it within the fabric. So just work your way like this all the way around. So once you've stitched this one half of your bag over the clasp, you're going to fasten this off by making a few stitches in this side just to make sure it's really secure and that your bag clasp isn't going to pop out. And now it's time to repeat the same process on the other side of the bag so that the clasp is hidden and your Cosy Up Clutch is ready to go. I'm using my yarn tails, but if you've not left them long enough, it's fine. You can just attach a new length of yarn. So now that you've sewn in both sides to cover your bag clasp, it's time to do the final finishing touch, and that's sewing in your ends. So you want to do this quite securely so that your bag doesn't unravel, and just any loose ends that you have, just take them back through and weave them back and forth through the crochet. So there's no wrong or right way to go. It's just good to weave it back and forth through the stitches on the inside of your bag so that it's hidden. And you can just sort of zigzag through these loops so that you know the end isn't going to come loose and unravel. And then cut the end nice and close. Once you've sewn in all your yarn ends, close the clasp and your Cosy Up Clutch is finished.